Bluefin tuna is one of the most extraordinary and expensive fish in the world, a true marvel of the oceans that has captured the fascination of chefs, diners, and collectors alike. When we hear the word tuna, most people think of canned fish on supermarket shelves. But bluefin tuna is on a completely different level. It is enormous, powerful, and rare. These fish can grow to astonishing sizes, often reaching 10 feet in length and weighing up to 1,500 pounds. Imagine a fish the size of a small car gliding through the ocean at incredible speeds. Bluefin tuna are among the fastest swimmers in the sea, capable of reaching 40 miles per hour. And their bodies are built like streamlined torpedoes. They are not just fish. They are apex predators feeding on squid, mackerel, and other smaller fish, and traveling thousands of miles across the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans during their long migrations. What truly makes the bluefin so famous is not just its size or strength, but its taste. In Japan, bluefin tuna is considered the king of sushi fish. The fatty belly, known as otoro, is prized above all else for its melt-in-your-mouth texture and rich, buttery flavor. Then there is chutoro, the medium fatty cut, which balances flavor and tenderness, and the leaner akami, which has its own fresh, clean taste. Together, these different parts of the tuna create an experience that is celebrated in Japanese cuisine, an art form where food is not only eaten but revered. Sushi masters often spend decades perfecting their skills, and when they present a slice of bluefin tuna, it is not just a dish, but a symbol of tradition, precision, and respect for the sea. But with such reputation comes an extraordinary price. Every year in Tokyo, at the famous Toyosu Fish Market, which replaced the historic Tsukiji Market, there is a ceremonial auction of the year's first bluefin tuna. These auctions are not only about the fish, but also about prestige and publicity. Winning the first tuna of the year is a way for sushi restaurant owners to announce themselves to the world, to say, "We serve the very best." And sometimes the numbers involved are staggering. In 2019, a 612-pound bluefin tuna was sold for $333.6 million. Yen, about $3.1 million US. Imagine paying millions for a single fish. For the winning bidder, a sushi restaurant owner in Tokyo, it wasn't just about making money on each slice of sushi. In fact, selling it all at regular prices would have meant a financial loss. Instead, it was about honor, reputation, and attracting customers who wanted to taste history on their plates. The allure of bluefin tuna is not limited to Japan. In cities like New York, London, and Paris, Michelin-starred restaurants compete to import the freshest bluefin tuna. Diners are willing to pay hundreds of dollars for a single plate of otoro sashimi, and chefs proudly feature it as a centerpiece of their menus. The fish has become a global symbol of luxury dining, often referred to as the diamond of the sea. For many, eating bluefin tuna is not just about taste it is about participating in a cultural phenomenon, being part of an exclusive experience that very few in the world can afford regularly. Yet, behind the glamour lies a serious problem. Bluefin tuna populations have been under severe threat due to overfishing. Because of the enormous demand and high prices, fishermen have gone to great lengths to catch them, often using large-scale industrial methods that deplete stocks faster than they can recover. Some species of bluefin are now considered endangered, with populations dropping by more than 80% in recent decades. Environmental organizations have raised alarms, warning that unless strict conservation efforts are enforced, this magnificent fish could one day disappear from our oceans. The International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tunas, or ICCAT, has introduced quotas and regulations to limit the catch. But enforcement remains a challenge, especially with illegal fishing operations that target these highly valuable animals. What makes this even more striking is the history of bluefin tuna. For centuries, tuna were not valued the way they are today. In fact, in Japan before the mid-20th century, tuna was considered too fatty and often discarded or used as cat food. It was only after refrigeration and freezing technology improved that tuna began to be transported long distances and stored properly. By the 1970s, as sushi culture spread across the world, demand for bluefin skyrocketed. What was once an overlooked fish became a luxury product, and its value has only grown since then. The journey of a bluefin from the ocean to the sushi plate is also a story of precision and care. Once caught, the fish must be handled with incredible attention. Fishermen use methods like long lines, purse seines, and even traditional harpoons depending on the region. After capture, the fish is bled immediately to preserve the quality of the meat, then kept under ice or flash frozen to maintain its texture and color. At the market, the tuna is carefully inspected. Experts check the color, fat content, and firmness of the flesh. Only the very best specimens make it to high-end auctions, and each step in this process adds to the final cost. In recent years, scientists and entrepreneurs have been exploring solutions to balance luxury dining with conservation. One approach is tuna ranching, where young bluefin are captured and then raised in pens until they reach market size. Another, more sustainable method is full aquaculture breeding tuna in captivity from eggs to adults. Japan and Spain have made progress in this field, and while it is expensive and technically challenging, it offers hope that future generations will still be able to enjoy bluefin tuna without depleting wild stocks. The story of bluefin tuna is therefore not just about extravagance, but also about the delicate relationship between humans and nature. It reminds us how cultural traditions, economic pressures, and environmental realities intersect. On one hand, it is a celebration of culinary art and cultural pride. On the other, it is a warning about the dangers of overconsumption and the need for sustainable practices. The bluefin tuna has become a global symbol of both indulgence and responsibility. So, the next time you hear about a piece of sushi selling for hundreds of dollars, or a single fish selling for millions, remember that behind the numbers lies a story centuries in the making. It is a story of oceans and migrations, of fishermen and chefs, of tradition and modernity, and of our choices as consumers. Bluefin tuna is more than just seafood. It is a mirror reflecting the value we place on rarity, taste, and the delicate balance of our natural world. And perhaps that is why it continues to be one of the most expensive, celebrated, and controversial foods in the world today.